Ezekiel Elliott, the Dallas Cowboys running back who has had his issues off the field over the year, was handcuffed at 3 a.m. in the parking lot of an EDM festival called the Electric Daisy Carnival in Las Vegas. He was appeared to be arguing with his girlfriend, and a security guard said something to him, and Zeke kind of backed him down, and got in his face, and then gave him a little forearm shiver, and the guy went flying into some gates there. But they're not going to press charges. Not arrested. Nothing really happened in the end.
Yeah, the guy was like, "Oh, that's Zeke Elliott. You know what? We can settle this between ourselves."
Yes.
Meaning, cash money exchanged hands. My favorite part of the story, and listen, Zeke wasn't like fighting. He was arguing with his girlfriend. Never hit her. Was like blocking her path. Security was right to intervene. I don't know what they said to him. Maybe he was right to shove the guy to the ground. I feel like if you're Ezekiel Elliott, throw people to the ground. You know what I mean? I bet if he was like, I could punch anyone, he would hit that security guard. Anyone in the world.
It was just like even a little forearm, but
But he immediately
Zeke
knew that
is
it was
big.
wrong. But
Zeke's
my
a big
favorite
guy.
quote from the article is this: "He was cuffed as a precautionary measure. He was released with no charges. He left Vegas that night and went to his youth football camp in Dallas on Sunday." The fact that he took a break from his youth football camp to go to the Electric Daisy Carnival and beat up a security guard and then go back to his youth football camp in Dallas. Like, imagine what that was like on Sunday for all those kids to be like, "Hey, congratulations on not going to jail for assaulting a security guard." That's the NFL.
Yeah, I went after I saw that detail. I did go look for any of the media coverage of the youth football camp, and there was some, but none of them seemed to mention the what happened the night before. He certainly, did not address it with the campers or anything like that.
Do you think that
He gave them a message of, no matter what your obstacles are, you got to work hard at whatever you're doing, whether it's doing the dishes or doing your running for football. You got to work hard.
What was he originally suspended for last year?
He was suspended for domestic violence.
Yeah. So if your partner's in front of you, and you got to get through him, don't let that stand in your way. I think that. Do you think Ezekiel Elliott really cares about kids, or you think he's doing this as a kind of a PR move? Like, if you get arrested for domestic violence, or get suspended for domestic violence, do you have to then open up a youth camp?
No.
Teach kids.
A lot of
way?
players have these youth camps, and some are more invested than others in them. Some they're like these really great camps. Some it's like these one-day things where the players, I don't know what the arrangement is, but the players' involvement is, relatively minimal. That said, the kids freaking love it, so it's hard to kill them no matter what the motivation is. But it is a strange subculture because Tyreek Hill had a youth camp scheduled for I think this month, and then just very quietly it was announced that it was now going to be the Sammy Watkins youth camp instead of the Tyreek Hill youth camp. They just sort of took his name off of it and put a different Chiefs player on it, which I think was the right move.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I just think that I'm just glad to hear that Zeke Elliott is really into this, and not just doing it for PR. He's like really, his heart is in this. He's like the new Jerry Sandusky.
Multiple Brazilian news networks reported that a 15-year-old boy went to jail after he successfully catfished a pedophile on Tinder by posing as a 14-year-old girl, having this back and forth with this elderly man who was a pedophile, meeting the man at a park, and then beating the shit out of him while dressed as Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Head to toe in spider gear. What I love about this story is that a 15-year-old posing as a 14-year-old, it's clear, and he saved all the texts and everything, like all the texts between them, and then kept it in the drive so that when they came to the park to arrest him for beating up an old man, he was like, "No, look, read this." I don't think they even arrested the old man. They were just like, okay, like no one knows what happened to either Spider-Man or the old man. But it sounds to me like a 15-year-old kid just really wanted to beat up an old man. Just really wanted to beat up an old man. And was like, how can I get an old man to come meet me as posing as a 14-year-old girl and collect all this info so I don't get in trouble? and then I'm going to kick an old man's ass dressed up like my favorite comic book character.
Or he's trying to, be a superhero. I mean, this is some superhero shit.
Listen, I've seen every
They shouldn't
Spider-Man
put him in
movie.
jail.
I know a lot about Spider-Man. He's never once catfished anyone to go beat them up, even though Spider-Man has beaten up several old men.
Well, some of the
Vulture's like an old guy in the comics.
there's some of the details were a little different because he came there with 2 pocket knives, 2 retractable tonfas,
Yeah,
which are those kind of billy club type things.
yeah, it's almost you do like a whip thing and then
It's basically a
gets
martial
longer.
arts billy club type of thing, and then some bladed brass knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
Only like 15 and 14-year-olds have bladed brass
true.
knuckles.
That's true. But imagine like you have those and you're just like, what am I doing with these? I got nothing to do with them. I can't hit a normal person, but I could beat up an elderly man with them. Let me try to find a pedophile. Like if you really just want to go kick someone's ass, and you want to practice before if I wanted to practice before I punch your dad, and like you can beat up any pedophile and no one would ever get mad. Like no one would ever be mad at you. So I think this is hilarious, and the fact that the cops were still like, "Wait, you did what?"
Right? They had to take. He kept all the exchange between the two on his flash drive, and he brought that with him, and then he called the police himself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he wanted this to become a big time story, or maybe he saw like a future where there's like the opposite of jail, where if you do something badass,
freedom.
No, where you do something badass, like fucking break out some brass knuckles against pedophiles, then they put you in like a really nice place where they take care of your food, and it's like basically like a nice hotel.
Like a hospital?
Yeah, like a nice hotel where they take care of your food, and like, okay, you're sentenced to that for 2 years because you were such a badass.
Then why dress up like Spider-Man? Clearly he like really wanted to dress up like Spider-Man and use weapons on an old man. And found a way to do it. That I applaud this 15-year-old boy.
If you were the old man, are you going to be more?
Spider-Man. If I were the actor who plays Spider-Man now, I forget his name. Do you know what I'm talking about? Tom Holland?
Yes.
If I were Tom Holland, I'd be shaking in my boots, thinking about this 15-year-old kid who could replace me at any time with brass. Imagine how badass Spider-Man would be with brass knuckles with razors on them, and who solely beat up old men pedophiles. I would watch that movie. That'd be like John Wick 4.
You telling me you send this little kid Spider-Man after Zeke Elliott? He's not going to be in the news anymore. He's going to be scared straight.
Zeke?
Yeah. I'm saying like you can have this guy take care of different crimes.
Zeke's not going to do anything to this kid.
I'm saying
it's a 15-year-old boy. It's not Zeke's girlfriend.